Space, the final frontier. This is a story of a lone traveler looking for a purpose in a journey within infinity. A bridge that leads us to infinite possibilities, and I am led here to this very system. As the very first stop of my journey, it would only be appropriate to name it the first station. After all the time I've spent settling down, I became very excited to see what I missed most, the ever-changing scenes of my travels. But what I see before me may not match the best of my expectations. A barren planet with rock formations, giant trees, and rock spikes that emerges from the ground. Although the rock spikes can easily be 10 times my size, they still do not interest me. But when I turn around, I can finally see what I've truly been missing. Stars in the sky, a projection of possibilities. Darkness can sometimes strike fear into our hearts, but it is precisely because of this darkness can we see the points of light. A sight full of stars. It gives us hope. The fact of knowing we can reach them somehow comforts me. And as I fly away, carrying this thought, I'm filled with hope again. Perhaps I will see something new, something exciting, something dangerous. And as I warp into the system, I'm greeted not with joy, but with chaos. As I engage into combat to help the traders, one of my cannon shots seems to have hit a civilian, and I am unfortunately met with sentinels. It was a misunderstanding, of course, but as they did not listen, I was left with no choice but to fight my way out. After finally defeating the sentinels, saving my own life, I decided to travel to one of the planets to try to explore a little bit. A planet with green land and blue seas. It reminds me of the description of my origin planet that my scientist colleague once told me about. Could this planet, I wondered, among all in the galaxy, be my origin? Perhaps there are always something that we will never get the answer of. When I landed next to an establishment, I saw something rather peculiar. Something that looks like a monument of purple and orange. It certainly looks intriguing. With a few objects of a shape of the Atlas, I could only imagine this is something incredibly old, but something incredibly advanced as well. While I was admiring the monument, I also noticed a platform above it. And so I decided to land on it and see what I can find. All I can see in front of me was something that is autonomous, something that is undisturbed. A lone portal device in front of me. What lies on the other side of this portal is a certain mystery. Once again, I'm given choices to go through the portal or turning around and see more in this same system. I decided to turn around for now in hopes of seeing more things within this system before going away. And I was not disappointed the moment that I went down to another planet. I was greeted with something rather interesting. Some sort of giant device that looks like a floating pillar. What it is used for, I may never know, but it is interesting nonetheless. Walking on the grounds of this planet, I also discovered several animals that are rather interesting. And as the sun rises, The night became brighter. The light seemed to be greeted with joy by these animals. After the detour to the other planet, I decided to come back to this green and blue planet in attempts to try to find the portal again. Of course, to my somewhat expected disappointment, I could never see that portal once again. Perhaps such is the difference in time. Somehow, memories can be deceiving. The catastrophes of memory perhaps can shift and manipulate our view of the world. This, I suppose, is how this universe works after all. Out of all the possibilities, the probability of me never seeing the portal once again outweighs everything else. And this is true. The universe changes always, and it is exactly these possibilities, these uncertainties, these disappointments that allows change, that allows freedom, that allows imaginations to flourish. The atlas may have shown me a path, but it is the stars that show us the way. Such is the quantum, the burning of life, a moment of uncertainty that splits our worlds into infinite possibilities. And with this in mind, I looked to the stars once again. The infinite possibilities are still waiting, standing, unmoving, like sentinels in the sky, waiting for me. Search for the light, go with the wind. Transmission over.